I have gotten so many emails asking me, Chris, this story about the Vihiga man in Ruto's Outburst being found dead, is it true? So many emails have poured in. And in my show today, I answer that question very conclusively. Actually, what I've done in my show today is that I've taken a bird's eye view of the current political situation in the country, which should be able to give us a very good idea as to who will win the upcoming presidential race on August 9th. Okay? So stay with me until the end and get all the facts and all the details. Karibu sana. Now, of course, a quick reminder. Remember, let the blood flow. The offer is in Kipindi cha Lala Salama. You can see details on your screens right now. Please rush, because it is very likely that you'll come here tomorrow and find that the offer is kaput, finished, over. And the normal rates are a bit on the high side. So please rush and take advantage. Also remember to give me a like. That really helps to extend the reach of my videos. Now I am very sure and very confident that you will totally enjoy the show today. So, twende kazi. Staying ahead of Kenyan politics is impossible. But those who are regulars on this channel will know that one of the ways, one of our secrets of at least being able to keep up, keep the pace, is the fact that every now and then we do an overview of where we are politically. And the way we put it here on this channel is that we send a drone up there to look down, to have an overview of exactly what's happening. And this example I've given many times. You may be driving along Mombasa Road and there's a huge traffic jam. You have no idea what is happening. But when you send a drone up there, you notice that way ahead a trailer is overturned. And so really what we want to do today is to try and look at the road ahead, to see what is causing the current drama in our politics. And that should be very interesting. Now, the truth is that things have been happening very, very fast. At breakneck speed. Let me just summarize some major events that have taken place in recent days, so that we can start having this overview. It all started with the leak of an audio of the Deputy President saying that he was about to slap Uhuru Kenyatta. Karibu nipige Rais Uhuru kofi. That's what he said. In clear language. And then this was taken up by the Eugene Wamalwa drama, which was linked. And as I said in an earlier show, Azimio people placed a bait in front of William Samoei Ruto that it seems they knew he will not resist. And of course Ruto responded in a way that did not help him in any way. He responded by saying he does not slap women, implying that CS Eugene Wamalwa is a woman. Now, somebody has pointed out quite rightly on our WIB forum that within the Bukusu community, calling a man a woman, let me just put it this way, it is the least acceptable thing you can do. And therefore, if you're a politician and you're campaigning in a certain area, say Western Kenya, amongst the Molembe Nation, where Eugene Wamalwa hails from, that is the last thing you want to say about one of their sons. If you're really looking for votes, if you're doing something else, And that's okay. But if you're looking for votes, that is the last thing you do. Anyway, let's proceed. And then within the same period of time, Raila Amolo Odinga and his running mate, Martha Karua, held a massive rally at Kericho. A really massive rally. The kind of rally that attracted the kind of crowds that a man called Dennis Itumbi will want to use for future photoshopping jobs. So that next time there's a UDA meeting somewhere and the crowd is thin, he can superimpose the Kericho crowds there and then put the UDA people there, superimpose them, and say this was a UDA rally. It was that kind of rally in Kericho. And as all this was unfolding, Rigathi Gachagua, DP William Ruto's running mate, ran into some serious problems in Meru. He was actually stoned by angry wananchi. Now, of course, election violence of any kind is not anything a sane person should condone. Because today it is somebody else, tomorrow it's you. Yeah? So this must be condemned in the strongest terms possible. However, we also have to analyze it. Why did they stone Gachagua? Why did they not stone the Azimio people? Yeah, why this UDA candidate? Those are questions you have to ask and answer for yourself. Because remember, this is a bird's eye view, or a view of Kenyan politics from a drone which is far up there in the sky. Now, there are a few things here that we can immediately see. It is very clear that the Azimio propaganda machine is in full swing. Yeah? You know, in politics, every political side, every political candidate wants to win at all costs. And therefore propaganda or exaggeration of the facts sometimes is part and parcel of politics all over the world. We can't change that. Now, I know many supporters of Azimio will not like what I've just said. Because as far as they're concerned, Azimio are safi kama pamba. My friend, this is politics. And it is not primary school or even high school politics. No. This is national politics, where people have to win at all costs. Indeed, there are situations, even in these elections, where some people know if they lose, there is a very high chance of them ending up behind bars. I kid you not. But I'll pick up on that theme in a future video. That is huge. Na iko na mambo nyingi. So propaganda is to be expected from both sides. Now, one thing about propaganda is that it has to be believable. And therefore, the character of a candidate comes into play. Oh yes, let me explain. And let me give an example. You may be in the Kenya Kwanza UDA team and you're not happy with all the negative press that is coming out on the deputy president. And therefore you decide to unleash your own propaganda against Team Azimio. And you create a story about how Raila Odinga got an order to supply t-shirts to the KANU government at one time, or even to the government. And then he printed only 1,000 t-shirts and sold those 1,000 t-shirts 10 times and invoiced for 10,000 t-shirts and got paid. Yeah? And you say Raila Odinga did this. Do you think people will believe you? Even UDA supporters, do you think they'll believe you? No, they won't. Or you create propaganda and say that Raila Odinga has his own room 360 at a certain hotel where he entertains ladies in return for direct tickets for ODM or Azimio. Now, if you are to push such propaganda, do you think any Kenyan would believe you? No. Why would they not believe you? They would not believe you because of the character or the perception of Raila's character that Kenyans have. Now, recently, somebody pushed out some propaganda that held Kenyans captive. You remember the young man that DP Ruto shouted back at? Wewe mbona unanijibu? Unanijibu kama nani? You remember that incident? Yeah, in Mulembe Nation. Now somebody came up with a story that Vihiga man, who the deputy president had told off in a video that has gone viral, yeah, the man had been found dead somewhere. And immediately, everybody believed this very wild story, this propaganda. Why did they believe it? They believed it because of the character of the deputy president. What he has done in the past, what he has been accused of doing in the past. That's really my point. And I believe it's a very important point to understand what is unfolding in Kenyan politics, and indeed what is about to unfold. Now, it would seem that Azimio are on the offensive, yeah, in terms of a major propaganda attack campaign against the deputy president. And most of what they're pushing out, the public is believing. Of course, they're also taking facts and pushing out the facts, yeah, complete with audios, like the speech the deputy president made about almost slapping the president, etc., etc. And now, it is very clear, if we were to take an overview, that Kenya Kwanza and UDA must find a way of responding before it is too late. However, how are they going to respond? Think about it. How are they going to respond to the kind of propaganda that is believable to the Kenyan public? Very difficult. Virtually impossible. Why? Because of the character of Martha Karua and Raila Odinga, the two people on the Azimio ticket. Now, you know, many people have laughed at me and told me, Chris, I don't know where you went to school. You don't seem to believe opinion polls. You always rubbish scientific opinion polls. Now, anybody who has these facts we've just been discussing and then sees an opinion poll by a reputable pollster telling us that the gap between Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto is a few points, that in fact William Samoei Ruto is catching up very fast with Raila Odinga. Anybody who sees that kind of poll and is able to grasp the facts that we have discussed on my show today can only have one word for you: rubbish. Because it doesn't make sense. You explain to me how it makes sense. How? Nafikiri kuna watu wanabeba wa Kenya wafala sana. You know, there's one other aspect people don't take into consideration. Some of these polls incorporate online polling. Now, if you do online polling, you need to take into account the fact that one side of the political divide has bought a massive number of fake accounts from India, which are on social media in places like Twitter. So you do a poll on Twitter, they use these fake accounts of theirs, and there's no single poll you can ever hope to defeat them on. No way. Every poll these people decide to participate in, they will win hands down, courtesy of these fake accounts. Anyway, these polls are scientific, with a very small margin of error. They must be correct. Wacha tuchukue tu hiyo. Let us just swallow that. But I know on August 9th, the truth shall prevail. The truth will come out, and some people will be so shocked they'll not be able to recover from it. That is really the reality. And so a conclusion from the drone up there, or from the pictures being sent back from the drone up there, are as follows. It seems that the presidential race is predictable. It all seems very one-sided. One side of the political divide, Azimio, has all their things going like clockwork. The other side, Kenya Kwanza and UDA, are on the defensive. Yeah, and at the moment, there is a major, aggressive campaign, yeah, to expose characters within UDA, especially Deputy President William Samoei Ruto and his running mate, Rigathi Gachagua. Yeah, expose them and what they've done in the past. Yeah, give out the negative aspect of their characters, which is supposed to impact tremendously on the number of votes they get. And it would seem that UDA and Kenya Kwanza do not have any viable plan of responding, yeah, to this major offensive as Azimio. That is how it looks. Which means that if nothing happens between now and August 9th, nothing out of the ordinary, then we already know who the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya is going to be. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.